Right, simple fast programming for the AT89S52 and 51 chips, such as the one in this rotating LED clock kit. This has got one of these 40-pin dip ones. They come in other sorts as well. It's an AT51 family of chip with some built-in flash, a bit of extra RAM and so on, and you program it via an SPI interface. So MOSI, MISO, SCK, reset. Here I'm using a Arduino Uno, but you can use other Arduinos. I'll cover that later. Here's the idea. You've got a PC with your Intel hex file in. You send that to the Arduino over its normal serial connection at 115/200 baud using the XMODEM protocol, which is a thing goes back to the 1980s. Very simple protocol for transmitting files. Once it gets into the Arduino decodes that file and knows how to use the SPI interface to program the chip. And those are the connections. A0 from the Arduino is the reset line, A1 is SCK, the clock, A2 is MISO, and A3 is MOSI. Connect the ground. In this instance I'm also using the Arduino to power the clock kit, so I've also connected the 5 volts. Right, so we'll do Windows first. That's simple. You need a terminal program that knows about XMODEM, and on Windows probably the favourite one that's free is Terraterm. So set up Terraterm to use your COM port. In this case my Arduino COM port is COM8, 115,200 baud, and all you do is you go File, Transfer, XMODEM, Send. Choose the file you want to send. We'll send this one called Music Clock Thermometer, and you click on Open, and you get a progress bar, and it's done. And you can see this is now running the appropriate code. Now if something goes wrong, I'll pull one of the wires off so that the transfer doesn't complete, and we'll try it again, try sending it something else. File, Transfer, XMODEM, Send it pattern, try and send it pattern, and you can see you get an error message there, chip not responding to programming enable command or unknown chip. So there's various error messages. That's an example. Right, now next thing I'll cover the sketch. So it's just a normal Arduino sketch. Fire up the Arduino IDE. It doesn't use any libraries or anything, so all you need is the one sketch, which I've called, if it ever loads, AT89S52.ino, and it's, well, there it is, you can have a look at it. There's lots of comments in there but you don't need to know. You just send it to your Arduino in the normal way, and like I say, it works with lots of different Arduinos, which I'll cover later in the video. So you just send that to your Arduino, in this case an Arduino Uno. It's compiling it, it's sending it, it's uploading it, and it's done. And you can see that this particular Arduino is COM8, which is what we've got Terraterm set for. So that's it. You notice I didn't unplug that while it was doing its job. You can reprogram the Arduino without affecting the attached chip. So next thing will be Linux. Okay, so in Linux we can use Minicom or some other terminal as long as it's got XMODEM instead of TerraTerm that we used in Windows. So on here we go to, I think it puts it under Internet, Minicom. You can do the help to find out, but it's Control A S to initiate a transfer. XMODEM is the one we want, and then you go and find the file you want. You can see the well, I'll show you in a second. Let's put music clock therm in. So you press space to tag it as the one you want to do, and then you press enter when you want to transfer it. So you can see at the moment it's running just a pattern. When I do enter, I'm going to make that a bit bigger. When I do enter now, it'll transfer that file. And it's done, and there we are, that's now, and that was about a 4K worth of flash being transferred. So that's done. To get out of Minicom, if you decide to use this one, it's Control A and X, and then it says, do you really want to? Yes. You can do it from the command line as well, of course, if you want to. In fact, I'll show you the sort of low level command line things if you want to write a little shell or something. So if I do Control Alt T to get a terminal, these will be in my history buffer because I've done them before. But you use STTY-F to set the baud rate of your port. So on this computer the UNO is a dev/TTYACM0, yours may be different, but set it to 115200, and then the command to actually do the XMODEM transfer is just SX. So you do SX, the name of the clock program you want to transfer, let's send it back to being a pattern. So if I change that to pattern .hex, I think it is, and then you have to redirect SX to your serial port again, obviously put in the right name for your serial port, and you have to get output and input, so you type it in twice. So you do that and it'll do an XMODEM transfer. What's it say? Can't open any... because we're in the wrong folder, that's why. Right, we've got to go CD, I think it's AT89S52 underscore hex, if I remember rightly. That's where I put all the hex files. Yeah, so if I try that command again now, so SX pattern.hex, send it to the serial port, get the input from the serial port. Now it's done it, and we're back to running the pattern. I say you can write a little shell script if you want to do it. I've done one, but it's just as easy to use Minicom, because you can use Minicom direct from the command line anyway, just by typing Minicom, and it's probably a bit easier. Control A X. Right, so that's Linux. Now, as I say, so far I've been using an Arduino Uno, but I have tested this on a few other boards. So I initially developed it on this thing, an Arduino Mega 2560, and on that I actually sent the data via serial port 2 in and out through there, and that let me use this one just for program changes and debug messages using the Arduino you know, built-in serial monitor. I tried it on one of the new R4 chips with the Unos with the Renesas chip. That works as well, after a few mods, but you don't have to change the sketch. It's exactly the same sketch. Just send it to any of these. This is my favourite. This is a Pro Micro, and that'll plug straight on to, that just plugs straight onto there without any connection leads. You can see I've made a little label for the back saying what the pins are. So that's the favourite, but you can use any of these, and I say you don't have to alter the Arduino sketch. You just select your board and it will automatically send the right version according to any of those. It should work with most boards actually, but those are the ones I've tried it with. So the the sketch, if we go to my Arduino IDE, sorry, this old computer's a bit slow, but the sketch you want, I'll put it in the description in a zip file. You can download it. Come on Arduino, you can do it. File. Anyway, there it is. It's called AT89S52X. X is will stand for 1 or 2, because you can use either the 51 or the 52, and X is also short for XMODEM. There you are, that's what it looks like. There's loads of comments in there. You read it, and if you want to know more, it's only 745 lines, and it doesn't, a lot of those are comments, it doesn't use any libraries, so just all you need is that one file. Okay, there you go. Any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll try and answer them. Thanks for watching. Postscript, there's the what I recommend using. So for Windows I recommend using Terraterm. For Linux I recommend using Minicom, and you saw once it's going you just run it from either from the menu or the command line, but the very first time you have to configure the serial port, and to do that you want to go to a command line and do sudo minicom -s, and then it brings up some menus. You can configure which serial port you're going to use, which folder you're going to put your uploads and downloads in, that sort of thing. And the reason you use sudo is at the end you say save default setup, and if you haven't run it as super user, at that point it says, oh, you don't have permission to save this. But there you go, you can read the help files with Minicom if you have any problems. And of course Terraterm you have to configure as well, but it's a little bit more straightforward because you just do it from its normal menus. Okay, thanks for watching. Remember to like and share and subscribe, as all these YouTubers say.